Hey everyone, we're live at the Paste Studio in New York with Dave Monks right now. Dave, welcome back, man. It's good to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, and with you today, Allison McNamara. Allison, welcome back as well. It's great to see you too.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah. So the debut solo record, On a Wave, is out in the world on Dine Alone Records right now, and we're going to hear 3 songs from it. Can you tell us what's coming up first?
Yeah, we're going to play Cannibal, which is later in the record. It's the first song Allison and I started singing together. And it was kind of the song that got you roped into the record.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 2, 2, 5. I'm a cannibal, looking for some new material. And I know you wanna love me, but you don't know what the price is. Talking about sacrifices, it's nothing that I wouldn't do. 'Cause haven't you heard, I'm a real big deal. Me going hungry, do ya? What's a little loving to ya? Well, I know you heard the story, but you don't know how the end goes. Everybody and their friend knows there's something that I gotta prove. 'Cause haven't you heard, I'm a real big deal. Haven't you heard, I'm a real big deal. Haven't you heard, I'm a real big deal. Sweet.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you. That sounds great. So you mentioned that was the song that got Allison involved in the project. So you guys have been adventuring around North America and hanging. Can you talk a little bit about how this started and how you find yourselves here today?
Yeah, I was kind of halfway through making On a Wave. I had like half the stuff done. I was doing it in LA. And I was like, maybe it's just like an EP or something. And I had another batch of songs I started playing for you that I felt like maybe I was saving for the band or something. And then you were kind of just like, I don't know. Then you liked them.
Yeah.
I was like, you like them.
I had a little boudoir serenade. And
Yeah, I
thought,
serenaded you.
Yeah, those should live somewhere for yourself.
Yeah, and then you came with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I was like, well, then do you want to come down to LA and help me? And you were like, oh, when? And I was like, tomorrow. And so we
So we booked a ticket.
Yeah,
Then you met Rob and Poppy.
that's right. Poppy's a dog. P-A-P-I.
Very sweet dog.
Yeah,
Cat-like dog.
little puppers.
Nice. So it's evident. So it was evident. It seems like to you, Allison, that these were Dave Monk songs as opposed to Tokyo songs. Is it obvious? Was it obvious to you? Did that make sense to you, or was that? I mean, what is that process like? Does it present itself immediately, or does it tend to take time before you understand which is the more appropriate band setting to present these songs?
I think when I did a solo thing before, I was much more like, oh man, these are like totally not band songs. This is a thing, and it almost, the whole thing had a more intent around like the feel. I'm talking about my 2015 solo record. But this record, On a Wave, was like very much like, as I said, like just like figuring it out as it went, and finding out that things could be my, not that Tokyo songs aren't my own as well, but like finding out that I could do songs in this way was like a gradual snowball building of I don't know, like ownership over it or something. And like the first couple songs that we had with drums and like bass and like, because the first few songs I did for the record were just really vibey little things, and I was like, oh yeah, maybe it's gonna be like this little bedroom record or something. But then we started to get some rockin' songs going, and I felt really guilty at first, but it sort of, I don't know, just like was something I stepped into. And
You were kind of telling me that you had like a lack of material to finish the album or something.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, well, why don't I just play you a few ideas that I've been kind of keeping in a little box here.
Right.
And they just seem like, I don't know, they just seem like solo tunes, and it hadn't really, like, that part hadn't dawned on you yet. You're like, oh, I just figured I'd be playing those with
the band.
With my band, and they just sounded like solo songs because you were playing them solo for me, and they sounded like you could have recorded that one performance that you did for me.
I remember you saying that, yeah.
Yeah, and I would have listened. That's the kind of stuff I listen to anyway, so. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think, like, Tokyo got really, there's all this new energy in Tokyo when we went and did TPC, which was a year before I recorded this album.
Yeah, that was right when we met. You were touring TPC, and we recorded it here downstairs last year.
Because that was early, too. Like, we just finished recording and came in. It was before the record came out anyways.
I feel like it was cold then also. I think it was, like, January. I don't know.
Lousy March weather. But, yeah, the Tokyo stuff was, I don't know. I think... Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like that was going to be... I lost my train of thought. Anyways. Yeah, whatever.
It's all right, man. We appreciate you both coming in here and playing this music. Yeah. The album is on a wave, and it's out in the world right now. And we're about to hear a second and a third song from it also. Can you tell us what you're going to do second today?
Yes. We're going to do Don't Go Falling to Pieces.
Good. That's what I
That's what I think. Yeah, this is Don't Go Falling to Pieces. And this one was one of those first kind of rock and band ones that I did in the studio, and it was a process of like a very normal song, but took a second to figure out how it went. And anyways, yeah. And, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Someday comes like the crack at dawn. It's rolling in, rolling on. You find yourself in a bag of bones. You feel it all, you're made of stone. But don't go falling to pieces now. Don't go falling to pieces now. 'Cause in your heart is a silver bell. It's calling out, can't you tell? So stand up straight and put your vision on.
Nice. All right, thank you. Can we talk a little bit more about the geography? Your relatively recent move. I know you were here in New York. You're in Brooklyn for a while, and you're back in Toronto now. Can you talk about the effect that the change in geography had, whether on songwriting or whether on the production process too? You recorded all in Toronto as well, right?
No, I did this in LA. This one, but
well, all right.
The Wikipedia's probably
Wikipedia.
Well, moving around, it was stressful. I moved back to Toronto, and then I was like, it was a really big life change, and I left Brooklyn. I was living with like my parents for a bit, and I was kind of living in LA doing the Tokyo record and feeling very like just adrift, no pun intended, and yeah, I mean, and that's the time during which I wrote these songs. I don't know if that, like, specifically you can feel that in them, but I definitely had there was a bit of there was a bit of, like, a vagrancy to the whole thing, and I think the stuff that I'd worked on previously for TPC and stuff was, like, I had, like, a whole little rhythm, I had, like, my spot in Brooklyn, I was writing these songs going towards a record, but this one was more just, like, I was in the process of, like, putting my life together, and songs were kind of popping up, so it was very like I don't know, it was like a kind of wandering around time, figuring things out.
Yeah. I mean, whether if there's a specific reference to that, it can't help but weave its way into the DNA of those songs, if that's what you're experiencing at the time.
Like one thing, like maybe you could say is like I was really, really open. Like when I left New York, I was like, well, I have no idea what's happening now, so I'm just like pretty much down for everything. I was like reconnecting with people. I was taking improv classes. I was like busking and like.
You drove out to
I drove out to St. John's.
Yeah.
I don't know, just like doing all kinds of stuff. So I was really open. So if anything, maybe this record had like a bit of I was definitely open to doing new stuff.
Yes, and
here's a new song. Here's another song.
You're gonna do the third from On a Wave. What is that?
Which song is this? This one's gonna be No One's Child. And thanks for watching and having us.
Jesus was a fairy tale. Nearly all forgotten. Yesterday's mail. Granddad told me with a wink he keeps the holy water beneath the kitchen sink. And I'm no man of steel, Mary, by no fault at all. Shook the world to pieces when she took that call. 'Cause babies don't come from the sky. They come to us on rivers of the tears we cry. I'm no man of steel. I'm just no one's child. No one's child. No one's child.
All right, Dave, thank you. Allison, thank you. That sounds great. And best of continued luck on a Wave. It's out right now on Dine Alone. It's in the world. It's out there. You are playing songs from it across North America. You've got the show at Berlin on the 14th, and then you're at Songbird in DC on the 15th. And then you continue shows. There's a number of Canadian dates with Said the Whale from November 27th through December 14th. And details at davegoeswild.com. Good for you for that URL. That's outstanding.
Got it.
And man, enjoy very much. Thank you very much for making this part of your New York trip. We appreciate it very much.
Thanks for having us. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.